back, sports fans. Cal here. Gonna give you a little on the road to week 11 recruited league waiver wire recap. A lot has happened in a little amount of time, so I'm gonna give it to you in a little amount of time. But first, on this day in history, something very special happened, and I wanted to share it all with you. All right, everyone. Now's the moment you've been waiting for. On this day in history, in 1946, John McCoy produced artificial snow from a natural cloud for the first time at Mount Greylock in Massachusetts, right in your backyard. That actually happened. That's why they call him Old Man River. All right, on to some more serious business, and that would be the waiver moves in the wake of Week 10. Okay, quick review of the waiver wire so you all can get back to your lives. All right, first things first. In the wake of his devastating loss, the Worm, disgusted, fed up, angry, dropped Doug Martin, who was once a first-round pick, very high pick, I believe. He's out for the season, so I think that's why he did it. Greg Zuerlein also. I think they call him Legatron, but I guess Worm calls him No More Tron. So those were his moves. They were kind of angry Steinbrenner-esque moves, it seems like, in the wake of his bad defeat. But shortly thereafter, the Darkest of Forces says, I am not done. I am not sitting down for anybody. As we can see by his pickups of Danny Trevathan, the Denver linebacker who I've never heard of. We picked him up and dropped David Akers. He also picked up tight end Delanie Walker for the Titans, dropping Daniel Thomas for the Dolphins. Dolphins still in a little bit of a rough patch there. This week, my waiver wire pickup of the week actually goes to another team that I praised on Sunday. Patrick's best team. Brenna's team. Come on, guys. Brenna's making us look like a bunch of pansies. She picked up Andre Brown, dropping Chris Ivory. Andre Brown's probably going to get some more carries in that Giants offense. He looked okay on Sunday. I think he had a mildly productive game. He could have some more rushing yards in the weeks to come. She also picked up Rashard Matthews, who got a lot of targets on Monday night. And it's become, I think, Ryan Tannehill's favored slot receiver, if I'm not mistaken. But coming at the expense of Cordarrelle Patterson, who plays in the vaunted Minnesota Vikings offense. Let's see, for my own end, I picked up Case Keenum, so I could dump Cam Newton's sorry ass on some unsuspecting team who doesn't know any better. Oh, shit, shouldn't say that. Never mind, moving on. Also picked up Houston, the Houston defense, dropping Indianapolis. I actually picked up the Indianapolis defense a couple weeks ago because I knew that KC would be on a bye. And Indy would have St. Louis at home, Week 10. Looked like a great decision. And it turned out to be one of my worst calls of the year. Bocchini, now in third place. He picked up Rashard Mendenhall, dropping Terrell Suggs. Not really sure why. Rashard Mendenhall has resembled a zombie more than an actual human being this year. But to each his own, I suppose. And our next couple of moves belong to Meth Damon. So Worm out of hibernation. Going with Chad Greenway to pick up a defensive player. Dropping Paul Posluszny. Greenway, pretty productive player, although he plays for the Vikings. Jared Boykin, another pickup for the Worm. He's been one of the more sought-after waiver wire pickups I've seen in a couple other leagues. Although the Packers now with Seneca Wallace for the time being might not be the most favorable destination for a wide receiver, but who knows? He could still be productive. Worm also picked up free agent DeQuell Jackson, Cleveland linebacker. I like that move. The Browns have been pretty nice surprise this year. And he also picked up David Harris, dropping Sean Lee. So shoring up the defensive side of the ball, getting a nice wide receiver in there. The Worm showing his waiver wire prowess. He's not content to be in second place, so watch out, Galaxy. And finally, our last move of the day, coming at 410, came from PB, picking up the Detroit defense, dropping his kicker Dan Carpenter. But still, no waiver wire pickups on the year for Cribbin. He's content with the team he drafted, which I kind of respect. Give a little credit for that. But then again, you're not experiencing the joys of the waiver wire, where you can pick up any second string or no-name player you want. Now it's time for a little grind my gear. So I was at Target the other day and bought a couple things. One of those things was a little container of rubber cement. It's going to partake in a little arts and crafts later. So as the cashier scanned it, she asked me for my ID. And I was a little perplexed at this at first, but I gave it to her, giving her the benefit of the doubt. And it's kind of taking her a long time to scan it. So I was kind of thinking, why is she taking so long? You know, why does she need my ID in the first place? So I ask her, doesn't really understand me. So the guy behind her goes, we want to make sure, you know, you're like over 18. I'm like, what difference does it make if I'm over 18? Is there like a drinking limit on rubber cement? And he says, yeah, people, you know, they sniff glue. I'm like, well, you know, I'm glad I'm of a legal age to do something that might kill me. Unbelievable. Yeah, I laugh at the guy, but I don't think he, you know, understands it. That grinded my gear, and you know, feel good to get it off my chest. So I'll see y'all later, and I hope the rest of your work weeks are pleasant, and Sunday comes very soon. Farewell.